Welcome to
Only Murders in the Building,
the official podcast.
I am your host, Michael Cyril Creighton. I play your favorite trio's fourth wheel, your favorite yodeler's favorite yodeler, Howard Morris. Today's show is all about episode 7, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. We'll talk with the actors Dylan and Becky Ann Baker, the real-life couple who appear as the farmer couple, Ron and Linda. Then we'll check in with Christoph Waltz because we have to talk about Bash's strange little boy, Algie. We'll also talk to production designer Patrick Howe about imagining brand new aspects of the Arconia and beyond. And, of course, we're also going to talk to Keegan-Michael Key about playing the mayor of a fictional New York City. But first, a quick recap of episode 7. So if you have not watched, stop, come back, I will be here waiting.
You came back for us!
Bash Steed is your murderer.
Mayor Tillman says Bash is the killer and gives the trio the address to Bash's country estate.
He's literally above the law.
At the mansion, Bash denies everything. Jay admits they're still trying to settle the same bet from the night Lester died.
Deals have always been made in back rooms. Games is just our way of making it fun.
Charles and Mabel play a round of Celebrity
Time. Yeah.
and learn that the billionaires are competing to build New York City's first casino.
This is about a casino and a stupid trophy.
Inside the trophy is the severed finger. While the trio debriefs at the Arconia, Camilla comes in with a gun, grabs the finger, and declares her plan.
Is that?
Our lobby?
Out in the country, Oliver meets a friendly farmer couple, and they're taking their horse to the vet. Ron and Linda are played by the fantastic Dylan and Becky Ann Baker. Hello, you two. Welcome.
Yay.
I am so excited to see you. I have been a super fan for decades. You are a married couple, is that correct?
Yes.
So far. What time
Going
is it?
almost 38 years. We met 40 years ago this summer at the Williamstown Theater Festival.
Amazing. You're playing a married couple in this episode. I know you've done theater together. That's where you met, at Williamstown. Have you done a lot of film and TV together?
We actually have. People love the idea of, casting a married couple because there's so much information that we have that we don't even need to create.
Right.
So we were on Smash, the TV show
Oh,
Smash.
yeah.
We were the parents of one of the two.
Cat McPhee.
Cat McPhee. Oh, and we weren't married on, what was the one where you murdered everybody?
Good Wife?
No. You murdered
one?
people
Could
on
be
that one
anything.
too.
Could be anything.
Which one?
Hunters.
Oh, Hunters.
We were on Hunters.
Yeah.
And I got to call him a small, bald son of a bitch.
And
First time that you ever said that?
let's just say we rehearsed that scene a lot.
40
And
years.
The last time we rehearsed it, I said, we finished shooting it 6 months ago. Do we have to keep rehearsing this scene?
You know what I love about this episode is that we immediately meet these two characters that we have never seen before, who are so different than the characters we usually see in our show. Right. Is that because you two are playing them, we immediately want to know more?
End of the day is toughest.
What can you tell me about Ron and Linda?
We're huge fans of the show,
Okay.
of Only Murders. So when we found out that we got to do the cold open with our horse, it was one of the more exciting days in our household. And our scenes were all with Marty Short. So right there, it was the most welcoming set. And he made us all so comfortable.
And I know that he loved working with you two. That was the word. We're all so excited to talk about who we worked with the day before. So I did hear you had a great time with you. I do have a question, though. I was so excited. Now, I have had to work with so many animals on this show. A dog, a cat, a bird, a pig.
Wow.
A pig that peed on me during a scene.
Oh.
That
and
was
pig pee's a little different than other
during
pee.
the scene. Some people get to act with Meryl Streep, and I get to act with Sprinkle the pig. Did you get to act with a real horse?
No, it was an empty horse trailer, but then
But
our
I
crew.
felt like there was a horse in
Well, the crew made it feel like there was a horse because they were back there rattling
Yeah,
it.
I heard that
know.
Adam from Props maybe, or someone was just shaking it, so it felt like there was
and
a
it
horse.
was a big old trailer. So,
Yeah.
but we pretended there was a horse in there.
I'm taking the horse.
Ho, 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 come on, buddy.
Is that everything out here demonic?
Yeah, for me, there was a horse in there.
And
I
that's
can
why
tell you
you-
everything that it had for breakfast.
That's why you were the best of the best. What was it like? Because we spend most of our time on the stages. I very rarely get to go out into the real world and spend time in the wild. Where were you filming, and was there anything that happened like in sort of the naturalness of being in a real location?
What time of year was it? Like springtime?
Yeah.
And so there was, what's that coming out of the trees?
That's true.
There
A lot of light.
Pollinating?
There was pollination going on all around us.
If you needed to be kind of emotional, it was easy.
Yeah.
But it
Why
was
are their
it was
eyes so red?
beautiful. Yeah. But it was a beautiful kind of bucolic kind of trees and all this wonderful stuff. And then here comes Martin Short running up into the scene. It was actually perfect.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. You got to save me.
Okay, so I would like to talk to you, Becky Ann, about boots.
So I happen to know a lot about boots. In fact, and I wish my instinct had followed through. In this script, not giving anything away, it talks about boots from the original cast of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I happen to be an original cast member of that show, and I still have my purple boots. I was going to bring them and wear them, except they're so old. They're 47 years old.
Oh my
And they're a little
gosh.
crusty and hard to get on.
Yeah.
Because they're just, they're ancient.
Yeah.
But they're purple. They painted them purple. And it's pretty great that you're sitting there wearing very similar. You could actually do the show in those.
Well, do you think they knew when they cast you? Did they know that was, or is that just one of those amazing
I
things
think
where
it's
there's
just one
a
of those
crossover?
One of those crazy crossover coincidences, because I don't think anybody, I was a chorus girl. It was my first job in New York.
Really?
Was an open call. I went to an open call of The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, along with, 500 other young hopefuls, and somehow came out of it with a job. I have no idea how.
That is incredible.
Yeah. It was pretty
wow.
amazing. I know.
That's incredible. And you have a little interesting creative crossover with the show. I did not realize this until the other night, that you have worked with Steve Martin before, correct?
I was very lucky. One of my first jobs in New York, I got to work on planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yes.
And Steve Martin, I think, had a part in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right. It was Steve Martin. That's right. And John Candy. And the two of them were, it was just, I got spoiled right then from the beginning, working with two of the best people in the business.
You also get an iconic entrance. Like, I didn't realize it was you until I watched it again the other night. And you get that great, you come out of the truck, they pan up your whole body, and then you're just spitting and disgusting. It is such a gross, hysterical, perfect performance.
And the amazing thing about that, if you next time you look at it, right behind me, there's a highway that we had no control over, and two 18-wheeler trucks go right behind my head as they get up to me.
Oh, it's so great. Well, I think it's time for us to play a game. How do you feel about that?
Okay.
We're wildly competitive. I just want to warn you.
I feel like I get that, and I think that I am too.
Yay.
So this is a game called Dead Giveaway. I have 10 things. I'm going to describe them. It is your job to guess them. There'll be 60 seconds on the timer, and if you win, you get to spend an hour in Bash Steed's cryo chamber. How about that?
Could use that.
All right, bakers, here we go. This is like a car, but it's bigger. And
Truck?
Van?
Yes. This is it's a board.
Operation?
Yes. This is what grows in water when it's humid.
Mold. Seaweed.
Fungus.
Yeah, it's like seaweed, but it starts
algae.
Yes.
Oh.
This is what we all want.
Love.
Yes, that's
a
true.
job.
This is what it's you get to do a speech when you get it.
An award.
Yes.
An Oscar.
Yes, a trophy. This is what pulls. I think this is what pulls things. It's like
It's
like
a trailer. Hitch.
Trailer hitch.
Yes, I think a tractor.
A tractor.
Okay. Oh wait, this is what I'm wearing.
Boots.
Yes, you're right. It was on here. Okay, this is what you get for Oliver in this episode. It's not an amber, but
A silver alert.
yes.
I got one. You got like 10.
Who won? I think we all
He
won.
won. He just kept blabbing and blabbing.
Boots, algae. Well, thank you
do
so much for being here. I'm so happy to see you both. I'm such a fan of you both. I'm so glad you're on this show.
In terms of dreams, I got to work with Steve Martin. Now I've gotten to work with Martin Short. I've gotten to work with Nathan Lane, Richard Kind, and now I've gotten to work with Michael Cyril Creighton.
Dylan.
I'm serious.
Yeah, we're thrilled.
Well, maybe the first of many.
I hope so.
I'll see you both really soon, I hope.
Thanks.
Okay, Oliver and Mabel, we got a really special edition of Only Murders podcast today. We're sitting with New York City Mayor Bo Tillman.
This season, we've met a new kind of New Yorker, the mayor of the city, Bo Tillman. He was a guest on the fictional Only Murders in the Building podcast, and now he's a guest on the official companion video podcast that we're doing right now. Keegan-Michael Key, welcome.
Hi, Michael. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. I miss you.
I miss you too. There's bricks where you are. There's bricks where I am. Are we in the same building?
It feels like we're in the same building. Should I just come over? Maybe just come over to
I
your
would
room?
love to see your legs. All right. So we were so excited to see you in the premiere episode, but now we get a little more taste of Mayor Bo Tillman. I was so excited when I heard that you were joining the cast because, we need another comedy legend. What was it like to join this in our 5th season, sort of a well-oiled machine? What was it like to join the cast?
Quite frankly, I was thrilled. I was absolutely thrilled because I was given, like I think most people, I was given an opportunity to work with legends and work with people who actually have been very influential in my career. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of what I do, and I think I can speak for quite a lot of our colleagues too, is because of some of the things that Steve and Marty have done in their career in the past that inspired me to say, I love when you meet kind of a transformative artist that where they do something in their craft and you go, oh, I didn't know we were allowed to do that. I didn't know, or I didn't know you could do that. And that's what sparks one's imagination. So I was thrilled. I mean, thrilled is one word, honored is the other word I would use. And I really wanted to bring my A game and see what is there anything I can do to help the process, to enhance the process. I was really, really, really champing at the bit to get to work.
Yeah. And what was that first day like? The first day I think was Lester's wake, right? When you give
Lester's wake.
eulogy?
That was the first day, yeah. And you just said it. You took the words out of my mouth, actually, which was well-oiled machine. Because that's exactly, I think there's something nice stepping into a family. And I say family in the greatest sense of the word, because the family was also very welcoming. I mean, you guys give, I like, how do I say it? You give warm set. You give very good set.
I agree.
Yes.
Well, you give warm guest because you came on, and one of the first things you did was you gave me a giant hug, and you said, "I'm such a fan," which then I noticed in this episode you do when you come in and see Mabel. You come in, shake her hand, and say, "I'm such a fan."
Hello. What a pleasure. A pleasure. Big fan.
Where does Keegan end and Mayor Bo Tillman begin?
Well, that's a good question. It's funny that somebody, I can't remember who coined the term. This is like a weird thing to say. Maybe I coined the term, but I did a show a few years ago with another actor, and that actor, it was like he was the mayor of the set, or almost like we were competing to be the mayor of the set. Like, you want to bring good energy and have good connections with the crew, and you want everyone to feel good and warm and happy they're at work.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that I'd be playing the mayor in the show and also striving to be, or it's kind of like my default is to be the mayor on the set.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. What I said about you, like, after I first met you, I was like, he is so warm. He is so nice. He can talk about anything and talk about it enthusiastically. Like every time I saw you on set, you were having an amazing conversation with someone about anything.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
That's my way. So it's funny to answer, like to directly answer the question. I'm not quite sure where Keegan. Well, let's do this. We're taking some Keegan characteristics and imbuing them into, or I should say, how about this? Bo has been imbued by quite a few characteristics of Keegan.
Right.
And
the good
that's how I would say it.
The good parts of Bo.
So yeah, I definitely inform that character in that way. It's fun to play a mayor.
You know, a big part of my platform is making the streets of this city safer. So I am excited to chop it up today.
This is one of my favorite scenes. Earlier in the season, when you're trying to pitch yourself for the podcast, you're like, you can say, where's the beef, or do a commercial, or do a bunch of sounds, podcast sounds. Yes. Was that improvised, or was that in the script?
I'm still available to guest, FYI. Or, you know, I could just do sound effects, you know, throw in a, you know, honk honk, or you know, where's the beef? You know?
It's so funny, but it's not really that type of podcast. It's more murder-centric.
Awooga! That's a fun one, too.
Some of it was in the script, but then there were some things that we ad-libbed. So I think, I don't know if it made it into the cut, but at one point in time, I was saying, I could do this, I could do that. I could go, Mama say, Mama samu makusa. I don't know if that made it in, but you can't lose with a Mama say, Mama samu makusa.
But I will say you're really good at an auga.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, and Steve was adamant about the auga. I think at one point I was trying to casually play off the auga, like it had just come to my mind, like or like an auga, and Steve goes, no, it's auga. I was like, you got Steve. Okay, all right, I will.
When
I will
Steve
lean into
gives
the
a
auga.
no, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah, so auga was in the script. I think Where's the Beef was ad-libbed, and Mama Say Mama Samu Makusa was ad-libbed, and I'm not recalling the other ones
Where's
right now.
the Beef is so excellent because it's such it's so specific to a time, and you know exactly who that mayor is.
Yeah, right.
So New York, where I live, where you live, we've had a lot of famous and notorious mayors. Did you model yourself after anyone in particular? Any qualities?
I would say that in regard to his personality qualities, I wasn't modeling him after anyone in particular, but in regard to wardrobe, I was channeling Mayor Adams a bit, actually, because I like the way there's something very supremely sartorial about him. I mean, he's very conscious of the way he dresses and the way he looks, and I discussed that with the costume designer so that we had lots of Eric Adams reference photos that we were working from.
Well, that brings me to a question about flair. I noticed it the first day you had a couple pins on, right? So you always have a couple pins on your lapel, and I think they change throughout the season, right?
The ladies.
It's like very restrained though. It's not like you work in an Applebee's. It's not like crazy, but I am tracking the pins. I'm like, oh, there's always a cause on his lapel. And where did that come from?
We wanted to have some visual cues that gave off this information, and the information we wanted to give was he's always campaigning. He's always campaigning. So he's always spinning a plate for some cause so he can try to keep every single constituency in play. Yeah. So there was that sense of so that's cancer research. That's for this kind of cancer. This is just the state flag because he had to go up to Albany.
Choose a Rooney.
To choose a Rooney, whatever. Albany.
Yeah.
We were just talking about birth control. Yeah. The right to choose a Rooney.
Yeah, this one is for this Big Apple is because this is for the sanitation department. Right. This one is for the this union, that union. So and we got a little carried away at one of the fittings, and then I think someone may have even said what you said. We don't want to look like an Applebee's, but we wanted more than one or more than two. Yeah, like I think 3 was right about where we could do it. Without it being,
it's like perfectly subtle. It's not a joke. It's not, but it is.
It's not a joke.
It does tell you about him that he is that he believes in a lot of causes, and those causes might change depending on who he's with.
Yes, exactly right.
What's up with Romy? I love that actress, Caitlin Houlihan.
Wasn't she sweet?
She was really sweet. She was a great actor. And in this episode, we learned that she's Bash's niece.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's the best. It's one of the coolest reveals is that you realize how overreaching Bash's influence is.
Yeah.
And that he seems to be the kind of person who's leaving nothing to chance.
Right.
And I like that quality that you're going, oh my gosh, I have eyes and ears on me all the time to report back to him. It lets you know that Bo's under this duress.
Yeah.
That Bo is beholden to these higher powers.
Yeah.
And I think, which is the nature of politics very often.
Right.
But it was nice because there's this tension that plays for him throughout the entire season where he's like, I'm beholden to this person, I'm beholden to that person. And they know my every move.
Romy, I could really use a coffee from that bodega on 74th. Okay, thank you.
That is a great reveal with Romy. And at this point in the season, I'm curious, is she a suspect? Are we supposed to think that she might be involved with this? What's her story? Should we keep an eye on Romy is my question.
Yeah, I think you got to keep an eye on Romy. Also because she's so adorable. You like, for a mystery watcher, you're going, that woman's too adorable.
Yeah.
Something's got to be going on there. Like, what's her deal? Like, if I were watching the show and someone else were playing Bo Tillman, I would have been, no. What's the assistant's deal? I want to know what the assistant's deal is.
The way she pulls out, there's an episode where she pulls out a business card. And it's so
she's
aggressive.
Right on top of it. She's like,
it's wild.
And I think I even no-look her. I go, Romy, and then the card's just right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my card. Romy?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So in this whole season, these billionaires are vying for a license to build New York City's first casino. And I'm curious, are you a casino guy?
I have frequented casinos in the past. I'm not a big gambler, but I do gamble, occasionally. And when I do, I always have fun doing it. It was interesting hearing about it, this plot point in this season, where my brain, it planted that seed in my brain. I go, that's interesting. There aren't any casinos in New York City. Right. I mean, the city that has everything.
Right.
That's one of the things we don't have. I thought it was a really intriguing plot point.
Yeah, and so I sometimes text John and I'm like, I think you're psychic because there's a lot of casino stuff going on in New York City. There's a lot of billionaire stuff going on in the world. There's stuff that when they wrote this season, there's a lot of AI stuff happening. When they wrote this season, I don't think it was as present as it is now. So I'm like, maybe John Hoffman is a little bit witchy.
Maybe John's got a crystal ball.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play a game right now. It's our own little twist on a game of celebrity. All of the people I have on this list are people who have been on Only Murders in the Building in past seasons. We have 90 seconds on the clock. We're going to see how many you can get through.
Oh, geez. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay, all right.
Okay, and we're going to start now. Superstar.
Molly Shannon.
He is a comedian, and he wore Christmas sweaters on last season.
Oh, God. Pass.
Okay, this guy sings Every Breath You Take. Every Breath You Take.
Charles' sister. Say again?
He sings Every Breath You Take.
Sting.
This guy is the most handsome man in the world. He's ageless. He's been in every season almost. He played a stunt person. He played a stunt person with an Irish accent.
Paul Rudd.
Yep. This is the queen of all acting.
Meryl Streep.
This is SNL, Mean Girls.
Tina Fey.
She was so good in The Holdovers, and she's our detective.
Oh, Devon.
This guy was in, I'm sweating, I'm getting so nervous. This guy is, he directed a lot of movies, and he was also in the one with Fonzie, the show with Fonzie.
Oh, Ron Howard.
Yes, this is, he was in The Producers.
Nathan Lane.
This other guy was in The Producers.
Matthew Broderick.
This guy has red hair, and he played a cop on our show, and he's sort of Irish looking and sour.
Bill Burr?
No.
No.
He's a comedian.
Red hair. Oh, God, why am I blanking on this person? 90 seconds.
Michael Rappaport. It was Michael
Rappaport. Oh, my God.
You did really good. I think I could have done better. I could have done better with the things. But anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You beat us.
I sure did.
I am now joined by our brilliant production designer, the man that makes our spaces, Patrick Howe. Hey, Patrick.
Michael, hello.
All right, so there's a lot of new spaces in the building this year. Let's talk about one in this episode, Silver Alert. I know this is not a space you built, but how did you visualize Bash's mansion?
It was an interesting project because of the initial description of a farmhouse and all of us creatives trying to concept just what it would be. And we wound up with this really regal estate mansion that I thought was commensurate with the Bash character, so it made sense to be there. It was, so since that was a really beautiful location, a really nicely architecturally designed estate house from the 1920s, it was more about curating decor that was going to suit that character and the sort of tone of the episode.
So Patrick,
yes,
one of the biggest, I would say one of our newest co-stars, if you will, is this gaming parlor in the basement of the Arconia, this surprise gaming parlor, the Velvet Room, the casino. It is unreal. I remember the first time I walked into it, I had not seen it yet. John walked me from one stage to another, turned on the lights, and my breath was taken away. It is so remarkable.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for saying that. It was a lot of fun to do. Mm-hmm. It was the first thing that John and I worked on together back in November when we were sort of laying out a season and concepting the ideas. And he had described a lot of interesting story that would happen there. And the manner in which he described things we were probably talking before I could read anything. Maybe I'd read an initial description of maybe the first episode. Mm-hmm. He's very good at describing his intentions. And so in our conversations, I really got an impression of what would be needed and that it would really be kind of a home-based set for this season to me, it sounded like we would be in there. There'd be cause to be in there more than anywhere else, mm-hmm. Of the season. So
you're brought in before any scripts are written for the season, as far as you have meetings about what the stages are going to look like before any scripts are written.
Kinda. Honestly, in a perfect world, they are written, or it's some.
But is the world perfect, Patrick?
Yeah, or the outline, or there's some outlines written. But so if we're talking about things that aren't written yet, it's because we need to, because we know that it's going to be something, and even though it's not quite on paper yet, it's time to talk about it. So in our conversations, I decided that this is where we decided it was definitely the space existed since the beginning of the building. It was and I rationalized former uses of it prior to it being a gaming parlor. So it wasn't designed as a gaming parlor. So what we're seeing is like a renovated space, but it had architectural bones from the beginning.
What would you say the space was before?
So the premise was that it was stables under the courtyard, and then I just rationalized additional things, like additional amenities. A large space of several floors and supporting several above ground floors above it is usually done with these certain kind of big scale arches, not unlike Grand Central Station. So I kind of went right to there, and which is a space I love and pass through often. So
I do recognize it. Like there's so many arches and curves in that gaming room, and that does echo the downstairs part of the Grand Central. So we find this whole new world down the basement, people. Uh-huh. What was it like to create this world where the break room is, where Ursula's office is? Walk us through where that actually physically is in our world where we film.
Sure. So it's fun to do spaces like that as well. I think the writer's intention was to be able to see a contrast in the spaces. So it was important to design something that looked super plain and not finished and not decorated like the lobby or the other common hallways that all the tenants, shareholders have. So
what's funny about being in that space though is like it's so real looking. Like I'd look up and is this a set or did we? It feels so real. It feels like it feels dirty. Like it feels old, and I know it's not, but it actually feels dusty, dirty, damp, and basement-y when it's really just you made it feel that way. That's impressive.
I'm glad that it does feel.
Yeah,
I was walk
in, I was like, I think there's mold in here, and they're like, it's a set, it's not real. Calm down.
Yeah, exactly. So it's one of the things I try to do is like In the telling stories with pictures, I like everything to be as real as possible. Generally, the material of a show, it's like that can be loose, that could be funny, that could be implausible.
Yeah.
But the last thing that wants to be funny or implausible is the setting.
Spaces we're in.
So, and I think the more real they are, the more it sells whatever story you're telling. So I try to go as real as I can get.
I think you succeed. Oftentimes, we all talk about it. We oftentimes forget we're on a set, which is a great feeling, especially when you're in like one of those apartments, so cozy. Is there something you haven't had the chance to do on the show yet that you would love to do?
It's a great question. I do love all the things we have done, those styles, but what we don't do usually is anything futuristic. So, although we did have a little made-up sci-fi story that Ron Howard was allegedly directing last season. But,
yeah, a little nod.
But so really, outer space futuristic things are kind of fun. I don't know, and there's probably a reason we haven't done that because I don't know how they would how they would fit in our canvas and palette. But that's kind of a fun departure. I like doing those things because there's really no rules. It's like you're just making everything up. Yeah. Everything.
Well, stick around till season 26.
Right, exactly. And
keep watching.
Then we'll be in the future.
Totally. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you soon. And now, MCC on HFM. Michael Cyril Creighton on Howard Francis Morris. Howard was not in this episode because he understands the concept of absence makes the heart grow fonder. And this was Michael Cyril Creighton on Howard Francis Morris. You're welcome. In this episode, we come face-to-face with the billionaires at Bash Steed's country house. So we're checking in with Christoph Waltz, still in Germany, and I'm still in my 5-floor walk-up. Thank you so much for doing this. At the beginning of this episode, a lot of suspicion is directed towards Bash, right? And by the end, he's kind of cleared, even though he's like slowly chasing the trio with a knife. Do you think the audience should stop suspecting Bash, or should they?
No, never.
Good answer.
Absolutely. The audience, as a matter of obligation, an audience obligation, should never stop suspecting, fearing, worrying about anything. They should, because that's why they watch. Why you, not they, we. That's why we watch stories, because we want to fear, worry, and root for and live through immensely difficult situations.
Yeah.
And rely on the safety and security of not having to bear the consequence in the end. So that's why stories are important. Because we live through it. The brain does the same thing, identical to living through the actual experience in reality when it is experienced in a story.
Really?
So exactly. They tested it, and with all the imaging that they can do. And the brain does exactly the same thing. So there you go.
Yeah, we're not going to cross Bash off the list. I love that since season 1, every audience member either believes that I am the killer or I am going to be killed, and it's every single season. And I love that the ambiguity is there and people think what they want. And sometimes they might be right. I have no idea.
Exactly. One day, both will happen.
Yes, one day both will happen. I will be killed and a killer. When we meet the billionaires again in this episode, we're sort of led to believe that they're doing something nefarious, that they're harvesting organs, but they're actually just playing a game of Operation.
I know that's what you see, but is that
are they?
Doing?
Oh, I'm naive. I thought I took it for face value. So the country house, Bash's country house, a lot was going on there. Had you ever been to Connecticut before? Or was it in,
it was Long Island, but then,
Long Island subbing for Connecticut, right? Had you been around that much taxidermy in your life?
Yes. I mean, around depends on, I don't have it in my house, but there is a taxidermy museum in Paris which has everything. Yeah. It's just incredible. That was kindergarten compared to that, of course.
That was nothing. I'll have to go to that.
Yeah, you do.
For me, in this episode, besides you, Christoph Waltz, one of the unsung heroes, one of the greatest performances this season is that little kid playing Algie. He is so funny. He was so creepy.
He really is.
He'll be in the Character Actor Hall of Fame in 50 years.
Is it time for my gesunde Leckerei?
My boy.
I like your skin. Bravo, Papa.
Algie, to the cellar.
What was it like working with him?
Usually it's difficult and very easy at the same time. Difficult because you need to leave them alone. You just need to leave kids alone because kids, if you start interfering with kids, then what makes it unique and extraordinary all goes down the drain. And that's you have to control your urge to help them, to micromanage or be of assistance as a professional. All that, not a good idea. Leave them alone. Be nice, friendly, not overly indulgent either, because they know immediately how to take advantage of that, and there goes the innocence, the priceless quality. So I think everybody understood that in a way, and he was treated like another actor. And since this was such a friendly and relaxed set and atmosphere anyway, there was nothing threatening to him.
Yeah.
And he just did, the director told him what to do, and he did it, and that's that.
Yeah.
And he did it like he would, and that's extraordinary.
Yeah. I would love to get back to that shade of innocence in performance, Too late. Way too late.
Tempi passati. Never again.
Thank you so much for doing this. It was such a pleasure. I know we're going to see
Michael.
more of Bash the rest of this season. I can't wait to see what he's up to. And thanks so much. I can't wait till we cross paths again.
Thanks. Take care. Be well.
I wish you nothing but happiness.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Join us next week when we talk to the Arconia's resident therapist, Dr. Grover Stanley, played by Russell G. Jones, co-writer of episode 8, McKenna Thurber, set decorator Mila Kalovich, and casting director Tiffany Little Canfield. See you next week. Until then, stay alive. Watch and listen to the Only Murders in the Building official podcast, available on Hulu and wherever you get your podcasts. And don't miss Only Murders in the Building, now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+.